What's up, guys? It's Slater, and I'm here today to tell you my feedback on Halo Infinite. So, real quick, going straight right in, weapon drills. Weapon drills, I think, are fantastic, but the only feedback I have for 343 is to change the rating system. What I mean by that is, it's very easy to get a 3-star rating and on the highest difficulty. I thought I was gonna have some trouble with it. I thought it was gonna be somewhat of a challenge, but it really wasn't. I mean, to be fair, I only use a small handful of guns that they offered in the weapon drill. I only put on, I believe, the sidekick, which is the pistol, the AR, the BR, and I want to say maybe even the plasma pistol. And even with the plasma pistol, it felt really easy to get 3 stars on the hardest difficulty. Maybe I'm just that good, but I do feel like maybe 343 needs to adjust those numbers just a little bit. Second, gameplay, for specifically the bots. The bots were a lot of fun to slay. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy slaying the bots. I mean, if you catch my stream, I was slaying these bots 12 hours a day, every day, since the technical preview was sent out. But the only real issue is, like, there wasn't really any variety from the bots. What do I mean by that is, like, there was only 3 difficulties that they gave us, which is Marine, which is normal difficulty, ODST, which I guess you could say heroic difficulty, and then Spartan, which is legendary difficulty. But they all felt the same, really. The only really difference that I noticed that Marine difficulty bots will just run straight at you, while ODST bots will actually strafe and crouch strafe, and Spartan bots will do crouch strafing and strafing, but also include jumping in their strafes. But other than that, they all felt the same. They all, at the start of the game, all 4 will go straight into an area. They will all die. They'll all get overkill, and it was very easy to pick them off one by one. And the score was always 50-5, 50-7, 50-3, 50-2. The most I actually seen was 50-20. But, like, that was only one time, like one game out of, again, I don't know how many games I played. I had so many hours in the Infinite Flight, it was just crazy. But just still, it felt like all the bots still felt the same, even through the increased difficulty. I mean, yes, their bots have insane nades and their team shot is amazing, but they're still very easy to kill. They're still somewhat predictable. Now, the only feedback I have through the bots, maybe, and this could be very, difficult to implement. Hell, it may be even too late to implement because of, the game's launching later this year. But it'll be really cool if somehow the AI, like the bot AI, can learn from actual players based on the ranking. So we all know there's gonna be a ranking system in Infinite, probably very similar from Halo 5, from going from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, onyx, and champion. So it'll really be cool if the bots will actually learn from the people from rank somehow, like somehow transfer the data or the movement or the shooting. It's just some way. It'll be really cool. So recruit bots, which is easy difficulty bots, will be like bronze, while Marine difficulty will be silver and gold. ODST difficulties will be platinum and diamond, and Spartan will be onyx and champion. I think that will be really cool. Maybe not just champion, but just onyx. Maybe only onyx, I don't know. But it'd be really cool somehow if the bots will learn from the actual players, so they feel less predictable and not, bots. That being said, the bots were a lot of fun. Next is maps. Honestly, I enjoyed all the maps. All the maps felt great. They all felt different. Like live fire being one, it was asymmetrical, but it was all on the same level. There wasn't really too much verticality. But then there's recharge, which has a lot of verticality. I'm saying that word wrong and weird. I know I'm bad at English, but anyway. And then there was the last map, Bazaar, which was a symmetrical map. Not asymmetrical, symmetrical. It is a symmetrical map. Not asymmetrical. It's symmetrical. It's symmetrical. It's weird to say a and then symmetrical right after, but it's symmetrical, meaning both sides are exactly the same. No side has the advantage. It's the exact same side as one side and the other. The only thing I can probably say, like the only feedback I can really say about the maps, and again, this is just play testing. Maybe they'll change the game just to launch. but the only real change I can really say is the weapon placement. There was only 2 marksman rifles per map. There's only one BR, or one BR one side and one commando on the other side, or it's both BRs on both sides, or both commandos on both sides, you know. But it felt like once you have control, and you especially feel this in Recharge, not so much in live fire, but definitely Recharge, and when I play PvP in Bazaar, once they have the control up top and control of the marksman guns, you're going to get outgunned, outslayed. It was very difficult to even approach the map because the sidekick is not as strong as the Halo 5 pistol, which is a good thing. But it really felt like your options were very limited. Once a team has control up high and both the marksman guns are up high, I feel like if they were changed down low, that will, you know, create more of a, will force players to lose their map control up high, to go down and get ammo or something. You know, either move the gun placement from high to low and then force them to move and lose map control, or place more marksman guns on the map so it's easier to fight from, even though they have the high ground. That's the only, you know, suggestion I have with the maps. Other than that, I thought the maps were very fun to play, very new, I guess you can say. I don't know, like it was very fun. Every engagement of a fight was fun, except when, I guess, of course, they have control up top and both the marksman guns for Bazaar and Recharge are up high, and then hell, even the Ravager was also up high too. So it was just it just, once you lose map control, it was just over. It was not that fun, but overall the positive experience, it was just very fun. What else? The weapons felt really balanced. I have really nothing else to say. The only thing I can really say is the sniper felt a little weird to aim on controller and a little bit on mouse, I'm not gonna lie, but mostly on controller. But I think that's just a personal thing. I mean, people are complaining about it on Twitter, but I really think it's just like we're just not used to it because it's a new sniper. There's less auto aim on the controller. It felt like it was very difficult to use, and I loved it. But and I had to play around with the sensitivity, and eventually I found my sensitivity, and the way I played it was at 5x zoom I had a 1.8, and at 10x zoom I also had 1.8, and I was hitting my shots while zoom. It did feel a little weird. It's very hard to explain it, but it definitely felt off, I would say that. But again, once I changed my sensitivity, it felt better, much better. So I think it was just more of a personal thing, not being used to it. You know, it's a brand new Halo game, brand new movement, brand new weapons, how they feel. So I don't think the Infinity should change anything on the sniper. I just think people need to find their sensitivity, because I've seen people going off with the sniper both on mouse and keyboard and controller. So I just think, you know, play around the sensitivity and get comfortable with the gun, which is why weapon drills is a very good thing. Oh, I forgot to mention with weapon drills, I completely forgot to mention this. I wish there's a way to go in the firing range with no time limit and just play around with the weapons, and like I said, find your sensitivity. Because right now in the flight that we played, you get to choose a weapon. Once you pick a weapon, you're into a firing range, and once you pick up that weapon, you have a 45-second timer to shoot at the targets, and it will base on your performance on how many targets you slayed, how many multi-kills, etc, right? I love the idea, but it'd be really cool to add like a free roam firing range. So kind of, I guess you could do that in Forge, but like specifically you enter a firing range and then there's a gun rack. You pick the gun off the gun rack. There's moving targets, Spartans, or just, you know, actual targets, and just, you know, go around and shoot. Play around the guns, get comfortable with the guns, and get comfortable with sensitivity, trying to find your perfect sensitivity for that gun. So that was the only, you know, thing going back to weapon drills. Medals is a really big topic right now in the community. The metas felt, I was gonna say lackluster. It's not lackluster. There's a lot of medals. There's a lot of cool medals too, and Infinite's done a great job of adding those cool medals like Ninja and 360 and bringing back Combat Evolved from Halo 5. But it was just more of like the design choice of the medals is what a lot of people were not liking. People love the new medals, but it's just the design choice of the medals. and I'll pop it on screen of someone, you know, showing off the medals that people would like to see. You know, a nice size medal on the bottom left corner or bottom right corner, maybe preferably the bottom left, because it always appeared on the bottom left, nice and big and varied. Because a lot of these medals, they look the same. Like going from Running Riot to Rampage, it's a little extra needle, I guess you could say, like a little extra point of the star. If that makes sense. And it doesn't, and it's the same color too. It didn't really feel like it was an achievement. It's just like, oh, I got the same medal again. You know, it's like same thing going from, you know, double kill, triple kill, and overkill are separate colors, but then at the overkill, it was overkill, kill tackle, kill Trosty, whatever, until Kilimanjaro, and then it just they were all the same color. And I get it, I get the idea behind it, I think, because I noticed that a lot of double kills and a lot of the other medals had the same color as double kill, and same with triple kill and overkill. So I'm assuming the color is based on the rarity of how rare the medal is to get in the game, which I think is cool. But I also think that it doesn't really show the rarity though. It just shows, oh, another medal in that category, you know. Didn't really feel like you got an overkill, kill tackle, kill trust, you know. It just felt, oh, it's just these medals are just in the same category, when they're really not, because getting kill tackler is obviously harder getting an overkill, you know, because it's one up higher. But because they're in that same category, they just felt the same. And I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope that made sense. The next is the UI, right? The UI, it was not great on mouse and keyboard. It felt the UI was more favorable on controller. I think going for a horizontal approach is not a good idea. A vertical approach will be a better idea. I have a picture up right here. I can't remember the user. I'll leave it on the screen right now. And he had a really good idea submission of showing the armor coding, of showing, you know, how the UI I think should be. It looks the most clean and it looks really comfortable for mouse and keyboard users as well as controller. Speaking of armor coatings, I'm just really disappointed in armor coatings. When I first heard it, I was like, it can't be that bad, right? Because the way I took it as, okay, we can still pick our primary colors, sort of, right? Like we'll still pick our blue, red, whatever primary, secondary, background colors, whatever, right? It's just that the pattern of the colors will be different of the coding. That's what I took from that Waypoint article way back, I think last year, maybe it was early this year, I don't remember, but that's how I took it as. And I just think the way this was implemented, that it sucked. And one of the big reasons why, because it's like you enter a game and then there's times where 3 out of the 4 Spartans look exactly the same, wearing the same armor color coding, the same coding. I mean, to be fair, it was a flight, we were very limited on our choices, so the odds of that would increase, but still, it's just seeing that it'd be a lot better where, okay, we had the same armor pattern, which I thought it was, like the coding, but our colors would be different. That's what I thought it was going to be. But I guess real quick, going back to UI, you know, the gameplay, I love the choosing the colors of red versus blue, like, or not having red versus blue anymore. Choosing your own colors between AI and friendly, I think it was the best idea 343 has ever made. And it would have been sick to see our own Spartans, but the fact that coding cancels that out, sort of. We can't, you know, we're not fully customizing our Spartan like we want to, because armor coding is like, you know, basically, hey, you need to rock these colors, you know. But you know, but other than that though, I think having the UI picking the color of enemy team and your team was, again, the best idea 343 has ever invented. Okay, I'm going a little overboard, but it's a really good idea, and I really love how the approach to it. You can pick any color, you have a lot of choices of the colors, they look great. It's fantastic. I love the UI. in game, the UI in game looks great. The shields are great. Where the motion sensor is placed, I think it's fine. Where the weapon is placed is fine. The grenade, I think you can make the grenades and equipment a little bigger, just a little bigger. I feel like they're a little too small on the screen for me anyway. But other than that, it was very I love the outlines of the guns. I love if it's a power weapon or the outline to be yellow. I love the in-game UI is fantastic, but the menu UI needs some work. And I guess the video is basically over, but that is it for me. This video is getting long. I was very quick, very rapid. I try to go as fast as I can, try to go through the points as much as I possibly can. 343 for listening. Thank you for listening. Anyone who's just here to hear an opinion, thank you, and I'm out. Peace.